SIKLOSI came through Sergei Bida of Russia, who he shared a final with in Budapest for the 2019 World Championship, and then in Budapest 15-14. Today, a much more convincing victory for SIKLOSI. Came through 15-8. Park Sangyoung came through Radoslav Zavrotniak, who is really a giant killer and a real mover up the Olympic ranking race today. After he'd taken out Enrico Garozzo, Federico Vismar, and Andrea Santarelli. But Park just had too much, too fast, too physical, and too precise when it mattered. Both of these fencers were able to pick up of mistakes and capitalize on opponents who began to rush and began to try and force hits. Be interesting to see how this plays out, because both of these are such effective counterpunchers. Anyone who begins to get a lead will start to look in a really strong position. So the question will be, once a lead starts to develop, how does the trailing fencer begin to come back? Both of these have shown really great variety. With SIKLOSI, it's in a really sort of classical Hungarian way. Lots of varieties of different kinds of actions. So we see there a feint to wrist dropping straight onto the foot, but he's got the parries, he's got the flesh, he's got stop hits, he's got the lot. With Park, what you see is an awful lot of actions that are attacking in nature, but with variation in timing and variation in execution, and it just makes his aggressive style so difficult to deal with, that he can attack in so many different ways, at so many different speeds, at so many different timings. And then early, really quick, sharp counter-attack on the top of the wrist. Strong flick from Park. He's got the precision as well as the power. The real weapon goes with every time that Park is on the piste, is you know that he's got this aggressive attack in his locker. And it's always a question, when is he going to use it, and do you have an answer for it? It's always the unspoken question that sits in the air between the two. SIKLOSI fencing so well when he's got pace, when he's got an opponent who likes to rush, he's got a lot of speed, and he can work from that speed. He can trust his instincts and trust that Hungarian technique to get him out of trouble. In that moment there, just triggering a flash, maybe fractionally out of distance, but importantly, you're doing it against an opponent who's balanced and confident like Park. See the dynamism in these two as well. They move so well up and down the piste. What you don't get with these two is a drift towards one end. They're both using every inch, making the most of the 14 meters that they've got available to them. Aggressive attacks from Park, really starting to drive, really starting to force the issue, and it means that he gets SIKLOSI on the back foot, and it means that that renewal is now much more likely. So fast. Again, he goes down, he misses twice, he still stays in there. Because he's alert, because he's ready, he's still able to fashion a double. Good interruption from SIKLOSI this time. It shows Park that maybe he's looking to attack. And we go into the minute break. One burst of aggression from Park right at the end there. So far, SIKLOSI's done a good job of managing the different kinds of attacks coming his way from Park, and this will be really important for him as he goes through the fight, because if he can get into a position where he can make it so that Park's strong direct attacks are not a danger or not as much of a threat, or certainly that Park doesn't believe that he can score with them, then SIKLOSI's got a chance. But if Park's able to start to land a few attacks, and that gnawing doubt, it starts to sit there in the back of SIKLOSI's mind of having to always be there, be ready to deal with the attack, then it will play into Park's other games where he can pull apart a fencer who starts to try and rush at him and starts to try and push. But this is so far SIKLOSI doing a good job of just containing Park's attack.
Deuxième match, sous vidéo, jeu vidéo. En garde. Prêt, allez.
When's the next test for SIKLOSI going to come? Dealing well, but now he catches on the way in. You can start to see there the danger that you get with Park.
En garde. Prêt, allez.
He just piles on the pressure, piles on the speed, forces you to go, and then he's there to just slam the door closed with a strong take you the blade and score. Oh, and there it is. That's the attack. You could see there the distance was just starting to get closer, starting to get within range, and there's nothing you can do about that attack. There's nothing you can do. Park's now starting to try and insist. He's putting the hammer down a bit. SIKLOSI pushing forward. Now he's in danger. Now SIKLOSI's in real danger. Park has raised the tempo with 3 quick hits. He did this in the semi-final. The scores were 4-2, and then in the second period, he just raised the pace, raised the urgency, insisted, and he's doing it again. He's now pressing. SIKLOSI's having to act because he's had 3 attacks land. He's felt that direct lunge to leg. Suddenly, a 4-hit lead from nothing. It's what the speed of someone like Park can bring. It can just make you have to do a bit more, feel like you have to go earlier, feel like you need to stop it before it begins. And now SIKLOSI's on the front. Now he's insisting, bringing 2 points back. Tempo of this match has increased notably. Dropping down again. Park looks to go again. SIKLOSI's got an answer. He stays safe, stays out, doesn't rush in. So vital. He doesn't try and jump on the first opportunity. He waits for the one that's right. Just trying to find that little gap in the distance, just trying to find that little half a step. Can they get them closer than they want? They get close, Park scores. But this is the game now. Can you convince the opponent just to take half a step in too close, where they're not able to defend, where the distance is too tight? This time SIKLOSI baits him. He sets the trap. He knows what Park's looking for. He knows that Park wants to be able to launch that flesh as he steps in. He shows it to him, but he's ready. He steps back, scores. And this does it again. So now this is important. Park's attacks have landed earlier in this period, but now SIKLOSI's dealt with 2 of them. Big moments now. SIKLOSI goes into the lead because now Park feels he has to rush. His own attack doesn't feel as convincing. It's not as much of a weapon as it was. He needs to create opportunities maybe from other ways. But then SIKLOSI starts to look to try to take it over and gives Park back an opportunity. You can feel the tension in this fight. And this time, the pressing forward from Park doesn't work. SIKLOSI is calmer, he's relaxed, he's starting to feel that he can deal with the attacks from Park, which means he's more committed to his own attacks. And again, but he gifts it back. He gifts it back by launching his own. It's the same story from both of them now. 14-13 Siklosi. Siklosi induces an attack from Park and scores. He stays low, 14-all, unbelievable. When either fencer is attacked in these last minute and a half, whoever is attacked has lost. So now who's going to jump? Both of them want to attack. Siklosi in, underneath, scores. 15-14, world champion. Superb performance from Siklosi. Let's not forget, in the mid part of that period, he was down. He was down and Park was looking in the ascendancy. He clawed his way back. He